Hey Leo, welcome to Wild Pearl Tarot. Today we're going to be doing a sunset reading for you. We're asking the tarot and the oracle what's coming towards you at the time that you view this. So it's a timeless reading. It's meant to apply whenever you see it. And that being said, only take what empowers you, what feels right to you. If it doesn't, it's just meant for another Leo out there. You can leave it. All right, so if you'd like for me to pray for you, if you'd like other Leos and cross-watchers to pray for you, simply say hello in the comments section, leave an emoji, share what you're going through, whatever it is. It just allows us a pathway to you. It gives us permission to send our energy to you, and it grants us something to focus on that represents your energy. All right, getting right into Oracle, just a message to guide the reading. Where are we going with Leo at the time of viewing this? What do they need to hear? We have the message of the finch. This is the Divine Feather Messenger deck. Each card represents a bird, so pay attention to finches if you see one. New opportunities and choices are opening to you now. Claim them. So, okay. That's got Ace of Wands all over it. Let's see what you get. I thought how appropriate for my first sunset reading to be with Leo, because I do think of you as my sunshine babies of the zodiac, right? I mean, they don't have to be mine. All of you are mine. But yeah, I think of you guys as the sunshine babies. All right, Leo, what's coming towards you at the time of viewing this? And I'll be just doing, I know that some of you will have complaints because I'm backlit and you can't see the cards as well as you normally can. I'll hold them up to you even though you may not be able to see them as the sun goes down. But this is an experiment. Please have patience with me. And this may not be your reading if you're mad that you can't see me. But other Leos, you may prefer sunset readings. All right, so interesting. We're reaching a very real place. Leo, we start with the Emperor card. The Emperor represents Aries energy. It is forward moving thinking. It takes control. It takes direction. It's unwavering. This has boss energy, basically, just like you'd think it would be, you know, having boss energy with the name Emperor. So we're going to unpack all these cards, but I'm going to give you a general idea where we're going. We've got the Two of Pentacles, and this is going back and forth with the energy. This is possibly reprioritizing things, feeling confused. It can be a few different things, but we have a theme here with the twos, right? Because we have the Temperance card, and this is one cup pouring into the other. This is about transition and change. Leo, it looks like you are you're being introduced to some very confident energy around taking control of a situation, taking the lead in a situation. And this seems to be after a period of time where you may have been going back and forth on options, trying to make up your mind, or prioritizing things, shifting things. We'll see a little bit in a little bit, but we've got the Three of Pentacles, and that is upside down. That means that you have maybe had an experience recently where you were working at a company or with others that did not work out. These people, you for whatever reason, you guys couldn't get on the same page, or you didn't collaborate well. Then we have the Four of Cups, and this is rejection or apathy. It's disinterest. Now, whose disinterest? I can't tell you exactly yet, but I have a feeling that it's yours. So it feels, yeah, like you're taking the bull by the horns after a period of considering options. What's this Emperor for my Leos? This Emperor energy, as you steer towards it, I mean, if there's a card in this entire reading, I can already tell you that you are going to Google, investigate, and research the Emperor. So this is a healthy leadership. It's not a demonstrative leadership. It's not lost in its ego. This is very much a confident, this is the type of leadership that inspires others. This is leading you to the 10 of Cups, and that's really important because that's alignment with your relationships, that's happiness. That can be love and marriage and family and balance and harmony. So if you are considering making a financial or a career leap, or even just making any kind of direct move in your life, that puts the power back in your hands somehow, this is further confirmation to do it. Even your oracle card is saying new opportunities and choices are opening up to you now. Claim them. What's this Two of Pentacles? I'm sorry if you hear scratching. By the way, I have a door closed and my cats hate any closed doors. So I'm sorry if the camera's picking that up. Two of Pentacles for my Leos. Okay. The days where you've been wishy-washy or considering all these options or reprioritizing, those are over with. So this period of life with the Death card is moving out. Okay, so the Two of Pentacles to the Death card. And it's important to know the Death card is also a rebirth card. It's simply making space and room for new people, opportunities, or things to come into your life. It's, yeah, if you've been waffling back and forth, if you've been, you get the point. And it might be because, it might have been, the catalyst might be been an ending, like you were not willing to change for a group of people that you were working with, or you were not willing to make adjustments, or perhaps it was somebody else here that wasn't willing to. But either way, the transformation was brought on a Ten of Swords moment, which is a very intense ending. But these endings, while they can be intense, they can sometimes feel like sudden, or that there's maybe a little betrayal attached to it. It was somehow very important for this transformation to happen. A lot of you guys are going to be going off and working for yourselves, starting up your own thing. Tell me more about this Three of Pentacles in reverse. You're having a lot of victory over recognizing this. I think you are recognizing the hard work, the time you've spent, and all the effort put into your life up until now. I will say this could turn into a relationship reading, but it has no lovey-dovey energy. This is life path, purpose, career, finances. It feels like that so far. So if this turned into a lovey-dovey reading, I would just have to say, this is like almost a business arrangement, the way you've been having your relationship play out. I really don't think the focus is really about being appreciated where you work, or being recognized, your skill set. We have here the Seven of Pentacles. And this is like that fork in the road, the moment where you take a pause, you look at everything you've been through. And this is where we get a chance to course correct if we're like aiming totally off of the direction we want to go in order to achieve our Ten of Cups, our happy alignment with our family and our harmony and all that. And so in doing this, I think there's a victory in recognizing that yes, while there's some things that you can always learn, a master knows that there's no such thing, right? And I know that that's a bit of an oxymoron right there, but anyone who is a master at their craft remembers the humility of being the student and how important it is to be the student. However, there are points in life where if you are too humble and you're always going back to that learning state of mind, you never get that promotion. I know that some of you guys are nodding right now. I know, because some of you guys are like, it wasn't being recognized in the dynamic that you were in, how advanced you were. And that's not going to apply to everybody, but this is a very strong message that some of you guys need to hear. And your victory is in recognizing what you no longer need to be a student in. And I'm sorry that I seem like I'm overemphasizing my words. I don't mean to be degrading or anything. My tone, I'm facing my tone towards these Three of Pentacles in reverse. They weren't recognizing just what you were capable of. And I think that this was almost a test. This was realizing that you're overqualified for this dynamic. And that's why we started with the Emperor. This is all a huge turning point for you personally. It's a huge victory for you personally, because nobody, no matter how many times somebody gives us a pat on the back and says, good job, man, you're so good at that. Wow, you're so talented. It doesn't matter unless we believe it. And likewise, it doesn't matter what they think. if we know that we are talented, or we know that we're ready for that next challenge, our skill set is up here, then it doesn't even matter if they don't agree, right? So the most important thing is you, and you are realizing, because thank God for this crappy dynamic, the Three of Pentacles, this was not enjoyable. Being in that dynamic, everything is relative, and it made you realize, no, I'm past this. I'm past this. So that leads us to the Four of Cups. You guys, this is definitely going to be an extended, because I just want to keep on going, unpacking the cards, seeing what's next, and getting advice. So that will be a link in the description box below this video if you would like to come along. And back to your reading. All right, so the Four of Cups, what is this rejection, this lack of interest about? It's the sunshine baby. I'm getting right up to the camera because you got to see this. It's the sun, right? How did we start this reading? And nothing's a coincidence, right? The first thing I was saying to you was, you're my sunshine babies. It's like the Four of Cups. You are disinterested because has to be recognized in you guys. If somebody doesn't see what you bring to the party, I know that some of you are thinking, bring to the party? I am the party. Oh my God, leave an emoji if you actually thought that at the time that I feel like somebody out there was thinking that. But it's true. It's true. It's just the facts. And you can't possibly grow or thrive in an environment that doesn't realize what you bring to it, that doesn't realize the sunshine you bring into the situation, right? And here's the cost, right? Like, let's say you're going to just be a good sport, and you were going to back down and just do whatever you needed to do to make the situation comfortable for others. Well, what would happen is the cost would be in your relationships and your harmony. And that's why, with the Emperor taking the lead, doing what you feel needs to get done is a direct line to all your harmony, your family, your relationships. Leos, it's like you live and thrive for this. The Ten of Cups. You know, even my most introverted Leos, their relationships are so important to them. And one might even say, like, that's ridiculous. Relationships are important to everybody. Ask an Aquarius. They wouldn't agree. I'm just kidding. If I have any Aquarius cross-watchers, they're going to hate on me right now. I love all the memes, though. I love the memes. All the Aquarians on the memes are like, whatever. Like, I'm going to go off and do my own thing. I have a lot of Aquarian friends, and most of them can take a joke, so I'm just going to rely on that. Yeah, so it's like your relationships are everything. They're important to you. And so it's weird, you know, to go to your place of work, because most of you really need to be doing work that aligns with who you are and is almost directly representative of who you are, to be really happy. I know very few Leos, and I know that they're out there, but I know very few Leos that are like, just, okay, I'm going to 9 to 5, I'll get through it. I don't really care. I'm just going to come back home and watch my favorite TV shows and keep on going. I just feel like Leos really need to shine out through life with their passions and through their relationships. So that's just my impression of things. It doesn't have to be yours, though. Lastly, I just want to unpack this a little bit further. Like, why are we getting this? Why are we getting this rejection card? I mean, I could tell you right now, in short, it's because you are rejecting this theme, this work theme, this situation and collaboration theme, because they're not seeing something that needs to be appreciated in you, and you're choosing your happiness. But let's get into depth a little bit more before we move on to the extended. So you're making fresh plans, baby. Two of Wands. This is really important to mention that Two of Wands is not jumping into your plans just yet with action. No, it's really important just right now to brainstorm, to if you feel comfortable doing it with 1 or 2 people in your lives, just use them as a soundboard for your ideas. But I do want to take this moment to remind you that words can both be really empowering or they can strip away the motivation behind doing something before you've done it. So be very careful with what you share when it's just in idea mode. Okay, what else? For my Leos, what else? Wow, what an awesome reading you guys are getting. These plans, they're leading you to something that not even you expect. You're going to be stepping into flow. And a lot of my Leos I'm talking to have actually grown somewhat accustomed to the lack of flow because of this Three of Pentacles reversed dynamic. When you actually step into this flow, it's going to be the moment you start making those plans, putting pen to paper, soundboarding with your loved ones, starting to ask yourself, wait a minute, if this is really an exercise in happiness and sunshine that I bring, well, what does that mean? Why limit myself now? If I'm willing to recognize that I haven't been happy and I'm not interested in this dynamic, why stop there? What is my biggest hopes and dreams? What's going to make me shine brighter and truer than ever before? Because the impact of that is going to be huge on your relationships, on everybody's happiness. When a Leo is happy, everybody's happy. It's true. When a Leo's happy, everybody's happy. I got a Leo moon, man. And I know that when I'm happy, people are happy. When I'm not happy, people feel it. I don't want them to, but I can't help it. Sorry. Okay. There is going to be some shifting things around. This is where it gets kind of interesting. We got Two of Pentacles with the Two of Swords. One sec. Yeah, man, here's the test. So you're going to get a little test, and the universe tests. That's how it goes. And it's going to test your resolution. It's going to test your strength around this. And remember that you do rule the strength card in tarot. By testing your convictions, you are very strong in your convictions, and trust those. You might have to shift some things around, but it doesn't mean that they're roadblocks. There will be a tough decision here, and I want to mention that the reason it will be tough, and it won't be tough for very long, but the Two of Swords represents our fears. And when we get fearful, we detach like that from our intuition. When you are doing things like this, like what you're doing, it requires a leap of faith, and we need to listen in those moments. And so whatever you can do to quell the fears, sing into them, dance into them, laugh at them, work with them. But if you ignore them, push them down, they're going to get the best of you. And they're going to do that by detaching you from your intuition when it most matters. And that's how you deal with a Two of Swords moment, right? You recognize, okay, in this moment, I really don't know which direction to take. And that's because I have this false blindfold on. And that blindfold is simply representing my fears. So I'm going to go on to the extended reading, you guys. And of course, like I said, that link is down below the video in the description box. And if this is where I leave you, I adore you. Please consider liking and subscribing, becoming part of the family. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.